What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I'm back with another Lovestruck speed build, of course, because the pack is still brand new and I'm super excited about it, and I just really want to build as much as possible in this new world still, kind of see if I can explore every neighborhood. And for today's video we're actually working on a nightclub. Before we get too far into the video, I just quickly wanted to remind you of my EA creator code Simmary Sims that you can use when you purchase any The Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or website. So if you're thinking of purchasing The Sims 4 Lovestruck or any other pack, you can fill in code Simmary Sims at checkout under promo code, and this helps support me and my channel. Note that this is not a discount code, it is simply a way for you to support me as a creator. Thanks to EA for sponsoring this portion of the video. So this is obviously a community lot. The first build that I did with the Lovestruck pack was a residential, which I really enjoyed. And for this one, I really wanted to try and see what I could do when it comes to a community lot. And of course, a nightclub is perfect for the Lovestruck expansion and for the gameplay that comes with it. I think there's a nightclub on this lot by default. I had to bulldoze it, of course, which breaks my heart because all these builds are so good. They're done by creators and they're all just super good. But like, they're so pretty. These builds are just wonderful, and it breaks my heart to bulldoze them. But yeah, obviously I want to build stuff here as well, so I had to. And yeah, so as you could probably tell, the shell was sort of already there at the beginning of the video. And that's because before I started recording this, or I actually built this over on stream for the most part, but when I kind of settled on the idea of building a nightclub and wanting to make it a little bit Art Deco inspired, because that's basically what I'm doing here, I decided to just sit down by myself and take a moment to fiddle around with some shape, like shell possibilities. And usually when I do that, I will take screenshots and bulldoze it so I can start from scratch and like work off of the screenshots that I took for the sake of the speed build to have like a complete build from scratch, if that makes sense. But I really liked this shell so much, and it was a little bit complicated in the sense that you can see that there's a bunch of bump outs. There's this round bit in the front, and I don't know, it was starting to become a little too complicated. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna work with the shell and I'm not gonna bulldoze it this time. So that is essentially what happened here. I hope that's okay, but I feel like we're working on the exterior for a pretty long time here, so you can basically get a good sense of the shape of it and what it looks like. And the shape of it is very wonky. The reason why I started from scratch with this one, usually when I want to do a build like this, like a larger home or build in this case, that is inspired by a specific architectural style, in this case Art Deco, I always go on Pinterest and try to look for some sort of inspiration so that I at least have something to hold on to as I'm figuring out the shape of the build. But I couldn't really find any pictures on Pinterest or Google that I really wanted to work with, like that really sparked my inspiration. So I decided to just sit down and do it by myself and just try to see if I could come up with a shell, and that's what happened. And I'm actually really happy with how this shape turned out. It's pretty big. As you can see, it's 3 stories. However, the top floor is not super big, it's only small. And for the interior for this one, for the floor plan, I really wanted to work with like double wall height ceilings. And for example, the second floor is open to the ground floor. It's like a sort of like a little balcony moment. And then the same goes for the top floor as well. You'll see that once we get to the interior, and also at the end of the speed build when I will give you a tour of the place. You can see how the layout actually turned out a little bit better, I feel. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this came together. I was super unsure about it at first because, I don't know, the shape was just difficult to work with, sort of, and I wasn't sure what to do with the exterior color scheme wise. But as soon as I figured that out, I was super excited. I chose for this like maroon color for the terracotta tiles, as you can see. And then I combined it with black. For the vibe of this place, I really wanted it to be very bougie and kind of luxurious, and definitely just like that, like sort of like a jazzy nightclub look and feel. I don't know. I'm not familiar with like nightclubs and places like this. Like, I don't leave my house. I just play The Sims. So what do I know? But that's just kind of the vibe that I was trying to capture. And I think it worked out. I really like the color scheme. It's definitely something I wouldn't go for super often. Like, it's not something I would normally choose, like this dark red maroon color with black. And then I chose this lighter pink color, which matches really nicely, or combines nicely, I should say, with the maroon and the black as well. And then black windows, and I don't know. I was a little bit unsure what to do with that rounded bit at the front, but I decided to not put any windows on the second floor portion. It's a 3-story tall like structure, I guess. And I decided to not go for any windows on the second floor and just kind of do something to really make this look like not just any building, but a really fancy, kind of weird like nightclub build. So I decided to go for some wall ornaments, like those green patches or like green wall decorations. I'm not exactly sure what to call them, but they're so pretty. They're from the Lovestruck pack, and I think they're so cool. I placed those lights under it. This build looks really cool in the dark. I will make sure to show you at the end of the video when we do the little tour. I'll show you this club in the dark. It is very like dark and mysterious looking, but I tried to make sure to place a lot of, or not a lot of, but just enough lights on the like wall lights on the exterior of the build as well. Because obviously it's a nightclub, so you're gonna visit this probably when it's dark or when it's going to be dark, like soonish in your game. So I really wanted it to look good in the dark as well. So I tried to play around with lights and try and make it look interesting that way. We did get that really cool light. As you can see, I placed it all around those green wall decorations. It's a Lovestruck light and it's really cool. It like shines from the ground up, or like wherever you place the light, I guess. And it's really cool. But the annoying thing is when you place it on the inside of your build, it makes the entire room dark. I don't know why it does that, or if that is a mistake, or if that is by design, but it's kind of weird and not something I want. So I wasn't able to place that light inside, unfortunately, but I did place it outside, and I think it looks really cool from the exterior as well. And then this is actually a limited pack build. At first, I really wanted to see if I could make this just base game and the new pack. But then I was like, you know what? For my first build, I did only base game and Lovestruck. And I really wanted to see if I could combine this with other packs and how that would work as well without going all out. Because for community lots, I really like if a lot of people can download them, like if it's really easy to download. And the best way to do that is to make it restricted pack, of course. So that's what I tried to do without restricting myself too much, because there were some items that I knew I really wanted to use. So I gave myself some freedom to mix and match with packs here and there, really to make it look like the way I wanted it to look, and without me like missing out on items that I actually really wanted to place. So what I did was I combined this with Get Together, because Get Together comes with dance floors and a DJ setup. So I really wanted to have like a little dance floor DJ area in this build. Since this is a nightclub, I thought that would add so much like gameplay and just such a good vibe to the place. So I used Get Together. I also used Get Famous because it does have some really cool items that I really wanted to use. From the top of my head, I'm not exactly remembering what it was about Get Famous that I really wanted to use. I don't really remember, but I did end up using that. Oh, we do have a really cool like spotlight kind of thing on the roof of this place, which looks really cool in the dark. I will again show you at the end of the video when we do a little tour. So Get Together, Get Famous. I placed a hot tub on the roof, so I am using the Perfect Patio stuff, but if you don't have that one, you could obviously replace that hot tub there is a base game hot tub that we got for, was it the 25th anniversary of The Sims? I'm not exactly remembering. But there is a base game hot tub. It's a different vibe and it has like an awning over it that I don't really like, but it's the same sort of item and it comes with the same gameplay. So you could obviously replace that, but I used the hot tub from Perfect Patio. Then I also used the Desert Luxe kit for the sake of curtains. I know it's bad, but those curtains were so good and they were literally perfect for what I was looking for. So I decided to go for the Desert Luxe pack. It was free when it came out, so I feel like a lot of people have that one. Or I'm just trying to make excuses in my head. That is also a possibility. At first, I also decided to use, you can actually see that here. At first, I also decided to use Eco Lifestyle for a dumpster because obviously I wanted to put in as many woohoo spots as humanly possible in this build because one, it's Lovestruck, two, it's a nightclub. I just feel like that would make the most sense. But the dumpster was literally the only thing I used from that pack, and I was like, you know what? We have like closets and storage closets and rugs that you can use for said woohoo purposes. So I was like, you know what? The dumpster, we don't really need it. So I decided to delete it. So we're not using any Eco Lifestyle here. Then I am using more packs, but from the top of my head, I can't really remember it. I'm using a couple more, I think, but again, at the end of the video, when we do a tour, we will look at it on the gallery and I can tell you exactly which packs I used. I will also try to remember to place it in the description box. I need to get better at like putting this sort of information in the description box, but I just always forget and then I just never go back to it. But for this one, I will try to remember to put it in. But yeah, you can kind of see that we are getting started on the interior for this build, and I was so excited because Lovestruck comes with a lot of items, obviously, that are great for these types of builds. A lot of bars, a lot of bar backs, and just like items to mix and match that with. And so, yeah, we got started on this bar, and I'm so excited about this rounded bar. It adds such a vibe to the place, and it makes it so luxurious looking, and I was just so excited about it. Also, the bar back that I used is really cute. I wish it would combine more seamlessly with some counters because it does not. I did make it work, but it's far from perfect. You can't really see it when it's in a speed build, but it's far from perfect. It's kind of clipping and it's not really perfect, but it does look good if you just don't look at it too closely. So I decided to go for it anyway. Otherwise, there was so much space left that it was bugging me and it looked empty. So I decided to try and build in the bar back with some counters, and I feel like it looks okay. And then the bar itself is just great. And this floor that I'm using, this floor actually comes with an option to create your own patterns. I think the red one has, or maybe all of them have like gold colored like stripes or like edges where you can make your own pattern. But to this day, I haven't figured it out. Like, I have not figured out how it works or how to create a pattern that I like. I've seen it in other people's builds, so maybe I just need to kind of copy what other people did. But I was trying to figure it out and I just can't figure it out. So I decided to go for just a red tile. I really love this marble tile. It is so, like, the tiles are huge and that just, I don't know, that's exactly the vibe. Like the big red tiles, I just think they're really pretty. And normally I'm not really a red person. Like, I don't like the color red. We have talked about this in my speed builds before. I personally am not obsessed with the color red, but for whatever reason in this build, it unlocked something in me and I'm using a lot of red. It's also because the red tones that are in this pack for a lot of the items are really, really pretty. For example, the floor and the bar. It's just like a really good red. For some reason, it's really working for me. And then, oh, that's why I wanted to use Get Famous. These red curtains that I'm using are Get Famous, and they were so perfect to place, for starters, by the stage here. As you can see, it was literally perfect. Like, it looks like theater curtains, and that's exactly what I needed. And I decided to kind of use these all over the place. I have them in many different areas here on the ground floor mostly because this is the only floor where I'm using medium wall height. So they just looked better here. These curtains are available in 3 different wall heights, which, whatever happened to that, by the way? I feel like that used to be the standard. Like, whenever a pack came with curtains, it would come in 3 wall heights, I feel. Maybe that's just my memory and I'm remembering it wrong, but I feel like that's how it used to be. But these days, it doesn't really, it's not the standard anymore. The curtains that we got with Lovestruck only come in 1 wall height, and I think it's either medium or short, or, I mean, no, it is short because they weren't really working for this wall height, and this is medium wall height, I believe. Or it's tall, but I believe it's medium. But yeah, in any case, these Lovestruck curtains only come in 1 wall height, which is kind of unfortunate because they're really good and I would have used them all over the place, but it looked weird, so I decided not to do it. And then here you can see this little nook in the rounded corner is where I placed those Desert Luxe curtains, because they're black and they're sheer and they're so beautiful, and the red ones were too big to place in like the rounded section. It was really looking wonky and not good. So I decided to go for something else, and these Desert Luxe ones were just perfect. So I decided to go for those. They're sheer and just so pretty. And of course, we have some tables and chairs. I use these base game small round dining tables, and then I use these Lovestruck dining chairs, which were absolutely perfect. I embraced the black here, and I also embraced the fun patterned wallpaper. It's mostly black, as you can see, but I did use like patterned wallpapers for some really fun accent walls. I used the snake wallpaper in like behind the bar. And then off of the like nightclub stage area, there is a smaller room, which is this one where I placed a bunch of couches. And I'm using that same snake wallpaper. I think I ended up going for purple. I made this a little purple room. I was trying to make this very colorful. I was really trying to give each section its own color scheme moment. So for the main portion of the bar where we have the stage and the bar, I went for red and green. Then this portion is red and purple, I guess. I use these base game couches and this purple wallpaper from Lovestruck to kind of tie that together. And I think that is a really cool combination. I love how the purple wallpaper and the purple couches kind of match. At least in this light, as you can see, the lighting, I was trying to play around with lighting because I feel like that is such an important aspect when it comes to a gloomy kind of build like this. Like you don't want it to be super bright and just place your little saucer lights everywhere. I really wanted to try and create some, I guess, ambiance with like lighting and candles and neon signs and things like that. So that's what I tried. And yeah, in this light, the purple wall and the purple couch actually kind of match almost perfectly. So that was really nice. And basically this area is just a hangout spot. I decided to place a foosball table. I did want there to be enough like spots to hang out and like sit down and talk with your dates, but also I wanted there to be enough activities, of course. So I decided to go for a foosball table in this little area where I had the space for it. And then we have some bathrooms here as well. I really like how these bathrooms look. I kind of sectioned off a tiny little hallway, as you can see, where I used a really funky leopard print wallpaper, which I'm obsessed with, by the way. I think it's so fun. And I am so excited to try and use that in more of my builds. I don't know why, but I really love that pattern. It's so fun. And since this space with the foosball table actually opens up to this tiny hallway with some archways. So this very funky patterned wallpaper isn't in your face, but you can kind of see a glimpse of it through the arches. I thought that was such a cool effect, and I just really enjoyed how that looks. It was such a small detail. And when you play with the walls down or half down, you can't really see it anymore, but I was enjoying it when I was building this. So that was fun. And after that area, we're moving on to the second floor where I have the dance floor, DJ, nightclub moment going on. And as you can see, this is totally open to the ground floor. It is like the middle portion of the build has the second floor, and then it has like kind of a balcony effect, if that makes sense, on both sides. I don't know how to explain it, but you can kind of see it right in front of you. I hope that it makes sense. And I really like how it looks. Does it make sense sound-wise? No, of course not, because there's going to be music going on downstairs, maybe coming from the stage, and then there's this really loud club DJ booth music going on up here that you can probably clearly hear downstairs. But you know what? This is The Sims, and that sort of a thing doesn't matter. I don't think you can actually hear it that loudly in game, like when you're actually playing in this lot. The music from upstairs, even though there's no walls, you can't really hear it downstairs, which is a wonderful thing. Like, I love The Sims for that. So that makes it that we can do stuff like that. That is not realistic. It makes no sense at all, but it's fine. I really wanted to create something super cool with like open to the ground floor moments, and that's exactly what ended up happening here, and I'm so excited about it. So yeah, up on this portion of the build, like the second floor, we have the DJ booth, we have a second storage closet, there's one downstairs as well, and then there's also a get-together coat closet or walk-in wardrobe all three of those could be obviously used for woohoo purposes, which is exactly why I placed them there. And then of course here we have another rounded portion. This is the area where I placed no windows, and I decided to just put an extra little bar. Maybe this is a little VIP bar moment. It's just open to the rest of the area with a archway, so it's really not that like VIP or you know, secluded or anything, but I just thought it was fun. So I played around with some tiger stripes wallpaper in here, which I thought was cool. And I placed a bright pink bar. So up on the second floor, I guess you could say we're going for a purple and pink kind of a color scheme, which I think was really fun. And then there's also a sneaky little door here that opens up to a rooftop terrace. So that's really fun as well. I just placed some seating here. We have some couches, and some coffee tables. And then I also placed I think it's a Don't Wake the Llama table from Get Together. Get Together really came in handy for this build. It was really, really good because it comes with such good activities. And of course, like the dance floor and the DJ booth. Oh, one thing I haven't actually really acknowledged at all is that I use this see-through dance floor, which I think is so cool. Like the see-through neon light dance floor looks down to the bar. So is that realistic or the best thing to have? No, it's not, but it looks cool in the build. So when your Sims are dancing and you look down, you can see the people standing at the bar or sitting at the bar, and the people sitting at the bar can look up and see the people dancing. So I guess what I'm trying to say with that is don't wear a dress to the dance floor. I don't know. But it doesn't make any sense. But I just thought it looked really cool in this build. So yeah, I went for it anyway. Also, the neon lights were just completely exactly the vibe that I was looking for. And then here on the top floor, I added in some extra bathrooms, which is really not all that exciting, but I just decided to leave it in the speed build anyway. Oh, there's no windows here on this floor either. So I only used windows on the ground floor portion of the rounded bit for this build, if that makes sense. I don't know. It really is not that interesting, but yeah, that's what I did. And then here we just have a really small third floor here, and I decided to go for some karaoke. So City Living is another pack that I used. I was trying to avoid it, but someone in chat suggested I should put karaoke up top, and I just thought that that was such a fun idea. It is such a fun activity. It adds a whole new, like, different level to this build, and it makes it so much more functional. So I decided, you know what, it's worth it. I feel like a lot of people have City Living anyway, so we could just go for a little bit of a karaoke moment. And that made it possible for me to use the bubble blower as well, because this floor actually opens up to the rooftop terrace where we have the hot tub. And I had the perfect spot for a bubble blower next to the hot tub. At first I was going for another lounging area, but then I was like, you know what? We have so many of those. We need some more activities. So the bubble blower was actually a perfect addition to this. And yeah, up here your Sims can just enjoy a little bit of karaoke. So I placed some tables and chairs. I haven't really used this lounge chair yet, which is from Lovestruck. So I was happy to have a chance to use it here. I think it's such a gorgeous chair. I think I'll be using that one a lot. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of that chair for a lot of different types of homes and builds. So I use it up here, and of course I had to place the axolotl plushie because it is literally the most adorable thing in this pack. So I had to use it, and I just placed it on the little side tables. The axolotls are judging you. You know, when you're singing karaoke, the axolotls are just hanging out, and they're definitely judging you. That's kind of what I was imagining. But that's basically it for this build. So let's jump in the game, and I'll show you the nightclub in real time. So here we have the nightclub in the game. This is that spotlight that I was talking about. It is a Get Famous. I think it's a debug or live edit object, and I place it on the roof here. Someone in chat suggested that when I was building this on Twitch, and it's really cool. I mean, it's not completely dark just yet here, so, but you can kind of see like how cool it is. So I did set the build as a nightclub, so we can kind of see how it's working. We can see some Sims spawning. I think I just saw a werewolf going in, so that's great. Here we just have the side of the lot. This is that rooftop terrace with the hot tub and the bubble blower, and then the back, there's not a whole lot going on in the back other than than just some benches. We do have a dumpster here, but it is a non-functional one. It's actually Debug from Lovestruck. And then, yeah, let's go inside, shall we? So here we have the bar. Oh, the bartender just got in and now she's leaving already? Okay, that is interesting. Oh, she likes my decor. Thank you. So yeah, here we have the bar and the bar back, of course. It's not super crowded in here just yet. Maybe we can hire a pianist or something. That could be kind of cute. What's really great is when I playtested this, I found out that this rug that your Sims can use to hang out on and also woohoo actually is still functional when you place stuff over it. So this rug is functional for woohoo. I'm getting a call and I'm not interested. Okay, so we have a pianist here. So here we have the stage. I made sure to also place the suitcase here for dressing up. And then we just have some different spots to lounge around, maybe watch the performance on the stage. I'm obsessed with this artwork back here, by the way. That is absolutely gorgeous. And then there's just some tables and chairs here for dates and a little area here. Looks like there's a couple of Sims maybe on a date back here. Through here we have an archway. This is where we have another lounge area. This is a little bit more quiet, I guess, though there is a speaker, so you could listen to some music here. There's a foosball table here, and then of course we have the bathrooms. Here you can see the fun hint of funky wallpaper through the archways. I just thought that that was really fun. So we have some bathrooms here, and then of course a closet for hanging your coat back here. And then over here is a sneaky little storage closet for storing things. Moving on to the second floor, which tends to be the most crowded because this is where we have the dance floor. And as you can see, the dance floor is open to the ground floor, which is a really funky. We have another storage closet over here for storing things. Through here is a sneaky little extra bar. No one really tends to hang out here, which makes sense because there's not a whole lot going on, but it does look cute. I like the wallpaper and the pink bar. And then I also placed a TV on this wall. It doesn't really have a purpose, but I wanted this lot to also be functional as a bar. So I needed a TV for that, so I just placed it here. Maybe you can like play some music videos in the background or something. And then over here is a sneaky door to a hangout area over here where we just have a bunch of couches and also a Don't Wake the Llama table. So if you want to play a game here, you can definitely do some puzzles or Don't Wake the Llama or whatever you want to play. And as you can see, this floor is open to the ground floor on both sides. So that's kind of what I was talking about in the speed build earlier. And then moving on to the top floor, this is where we have the karaoke area. So your Sims can just hang out here, do some karaoke, have some fun, hang out here. And then of course there are some bathrooms over here as well, which is really not that exciting, but they're here, so that's nice. And then over here we have the bubble blower and the hot tub. But that is basically it for this build. So this Lovebug lounge / nightclub is up on the gallery. It uses Lovestruck, Get Famous, City Living, Get Together, Perfect Patio, and Desert Luxe. So it's really not all that bad, and I feel like it's pretty easy to download. It goes on a 30 by 20 in the world of Ciudad Enamorada in the area where the penthouse lots are, and this is built on the lot where there is, I think, another nightclub by default. So if you want to place it in your game, then that's where it goes. But that's going to do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you'd like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmerySims. And just a quick reminder that you can use my EA creator code SimmerySims when purchasing any The Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or website. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!